was interested in getting to know stuff about film because it seemed really interesting, and knowing the history about where I lived and everything I learned has been really fun and helpful.
I've actually really wanted to try and do filming for a while, so I said yes and I'm enjoying it. So
I wanted to be creative and stuff, like I wanted to see what it would be like.
I thought it'd be fun to learn about how films are made and what goes into them.
It's quite incredible how you learn so much, and you wouldn't think you'd learn that much in such a little amount of time, but you learn an awful lot, and it's really good. It's a really good thing to do.
We've learned how to do certain things with the camera, like GVs, piece to cameras and time lapse.
You can like do it with like a time warp, so it can like just you can walk, but there's like no sounds, and it makes it faster and stuff.
We've done a lot of filming at the school. I've done lots of piece to cameras, general views and interviews.
I prefer the GVs because there's no one in it.
I've done a bit of editing, videoing, found out that I've got a really good steady hand while videoing.
Well, I learned how to use a GoPro.
I'm just used to using my phone, but like using an actual camera, it's quite crazy.
From the workshops I've learned how GoPros work, how films are edited and much more.
We've learned how to like do like different modes, and like how to like you can change the camera so like the ways it's moving and stuff.
I really enjoy the editing. That's one of the things I was really looking forward to.
I've learned a lot more about the history of the town and different parts of it.
I never knew about the school being a prison.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun to find out.
I thought it was quite cool that you let us go out like anywhere and video like what we wanted to video, and like you give us a time thing, but like it was kind of cool that you let us go out without you being around.
It was good. It's made me think about what to do after school and maybe go to college and do some filming.
It felt amazing to be able to see how films are made and be part of that process.
I think making the film was the most fun because we knew how to do it and we could just have a bit of fun with it.
Knowing that you can like make something and do something with it instead of just like doing it and then leaving it again. It's quite good to make something and knowing it's gonna like other people's gonna see it, instead of it you just making it and nothing happens with it.
So what would you say is the benefits as a young person living in the countryside?
You've got more freedom around and you get to learn more. And like people in the city, they go shops and shopping at the same shops and like saying that you've got barely anything to do, but it's not about having what we have, it's about what we want to do and having fun and having freedom.
Would you say you feel safer in the countryside than in a city?
Yeah.
And why do you think it'd be more dangerous to be in a city as a young person? What kind of things do you feel they face which you don't need to?
When like on their phone crossing roads, they could like maybe get hit by a car and like go get seriously injured. But like at country there's barely any cars, so you can go do whatever.
Do you feel like there is more or less to do out here as opposed to a city? Is there things that you wish you had here which they do in cities?
Not really.
No.
Would you live in Wooler?
I don't think I would. I think I'd prefer to live somewhere a bit more rural.
Okay. What are your 3 places in Wooler that you would like to go to if you could?
Probably the co-op, Fry and the chocolate box.
Nice. What's your favourite walk in Wooler though?
My favourite walk in Wooler is probably the walk up Yevring Mall.
Nice. If you could live somewhere, and if you had to live somewhere, where would it be?
I think I would probably choose to live somewhere in Northumberland in the countryside.
Okay.
Do you eat the pheasants you catch?
Yes.
What's your beating stick look like and made out of?
Well, it doesn't really matter what the stick is, it's just pretty much a bag strapped onto the stick.
Where do you go?
Through woods in a line.
Why do you like it?
Because it's a hobby and I get paid.
Today we were going to be visiting the Commonwealth War Grave.
This is the sign that shows you how to go down to the Tower Hill.
This impressive structure is Wooler's St Mary's Church. So we'll go from the co-op to the church. Now we have reached the entrance.
In the graveyard of St Mary's Church in Wooler, we found this very interesting graveyard.
We are now going to cross the road over to W.J. Miller and Sons Antique Shop. We can now continue down the hill to Tower Hill, where the grave is located.
We're walking up the steps to go see the wall. There are 37 steps walking up to the hill. It's not that tiring, but still. Memorial, there is quite a lot of names on it from people that fought in the Second World War. And we're here on the top of the hill with the War Memorial.
As you can see from seeing all our names on the war memorial, there are some that are very similar to each other. Names like Elliot. It makes us wonder whether they were family or maybe they just had the same name.
Cheviot Centre, and I've just found this very interesting book in the library where it describes Wooler as a quaint small rural town situated on a slope above the Wooler water. It also tells of two historic events in 1722 and 1862 where the town was burned down.
I was in the library and I found a book about the brief history of Wooler. I was looking through and on figure 9 I saw a picture of the high street in 1899. It's very different from the high street today because there are no lampposts, no cars, and it's got horse muck and carriages.
The Wooler Bridge, built in 1800 to replace a processor, demolished in 1776 by flood, and only 3 years after it had been built, it was set on over 250 piles.
So I've just been in the local library and I found this book The Cheviot Way of Life, and it's got some interesting and spooky information about Halloween in Wooler, so I'm just going to read that quickly. In the Cheviots, Halloween was once called Nutcrack Night. The historian William Hutchinson visited the area in 1776 and wrote that in the rural sacrifice of nuts, favourable omens are thought touching matrimony. If the nuts lie still and burn together, it indicates a happy marriage. The College Valley, one of the most beautiful and remote places in the national park, was named after a coven of witches, but any traces of or historical records have been kicked over by Christian incomers. So now I'm going to head down to the school. This is Glendale Middle School. It used to be a prisoner of war camp. The camp first housed the Italians who lived under canvas while they erected buildings and who carved the lions which now adorn the school gateposts. From 1944, German POWs replaced the Italians, later rising to 1,500.
This field behind me, which is now school field, is the field where the POWs were housed. And what's interesting about this, is that the POWs were split up into 3 different groups. White prisoners, who were generally opposed to the Nazi regime and were allowed much greater freedoms due to their perceived low risk. Grey prisoners, who were given this freedom dependent on constant evaluations of their opinion of the Nazi regime, and who were then treated with more respect or less respect, depending on that, and black prisoners, who were in clear support of the Nazi regime and who were given much less freedom.
I heard that the prisoners were actually treated nicely though.
Yeah, like the white group were, but like the other groups were either treated depending on their allegiance to the Nazis at the time.
The people here was allowed to do work and stuff for the farmers. They also the farmers also brought them for helping them to eat and have dinner with them.
Do you think Glendale was a good school?
Yes, it is a really good school. I made lots of friends and the teachers are really kind.
It was a really good school. It was hard sometimes because the teachers was like really strict on us and stuff, so it was like really difficult at times. But it's a good school because they like bring us all together and stuff.
So, why did you enjoy this school?
I guess it just gave me a chance to be a child and enjoy the younger years of my life.
What was your favourite lesson?
My favourite subject was art because Miss Hall made it a lesson but in a fun way.
Has to be art. The teacher was so friendly and I just had so much fun while doing it, so it has to be art.
Who was your favourite teacher?
My favourite teacher was Miss Hall who taught art.
we've got the best art teacher, and like she's trying to like influence and giving us like lots of fun pictures to paint and a draw and all that.
Miss Hall, she was my art teacher. She was kind, funny, and she helped me when no one else knew how.
Is he the one that got murdered?
Yeah. No, apparently he goes down and still spaghetti at the school every time they make it.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
weird. No wonder I got hardly any spaghetti when I was here.
Yeah.
So guys, we're here today with
Sinead Wakenshaw.
and Molly McKinley. We are learning about either the World War or the World War II. And
This is a Nemesia Easter bonnet, and it smells like vanilla.
We
Are
standing
in
the shadow
of
the War Memorial.
in
What?